Hi everyone and welcome to this week's messages. I hope you have had an incredible week. There's been a shift in energy with this full moon, and there is in general just a shift in energy. I hope that you experienced what came out last week in the full reading, which was all about the masculine, a masculine movement, shall we say, a masculine offer, or that night. It's the Knight of Cups energy for the full moon, and I know that I spoke to some people who had some emails from people that had a lot of things happen on that day. But what I do notice is that people forget. I have to remind them, like, well, it was in this week's reading that on the full moon this was going to happen. So, and then they're like, oh, this happened out of the blue. What do I do? I'm like, wasn't out of the blue, was it? So I think it was really interesting to me because I was like, wow, people are kind of missing stuff. So I would encourage you to take more notice. Don't miss anything. I know these are quite long readings, 45 minutes long. The full reading, there's a huge amount of information in there. Don't miss it. It's all useful stuff. So just it's not just, maybe don't watch it once, but I think some people just watch it once and they're looking for things, and it's just like there's actually a lot of information in there. These are much more than I think people, you can miss it. There's information in there that's supposed to be useful so that you can navigate the energy as it happens. So yeah, just a little note there that there's a lot of detail that can be helpful in these readings. So please look out for them, and not just in these readings, in life, in life. And I think that's kind of what I want to do with the readings, is kind of encourage you to look for the messages all around you. And this is more and more what I feel like I want to do. It's not just, it can be in anything. It can be in the way that it could be that card now. I know people do this, but it's just there's so much happening in the spaces in between. So yeah, a little bit more shuffles, and then we can go. Let's have a little shuffle this way as well. Let's have a little shuffle this way. I shuffle before I record in a different fashion. Cool, ready to go. So, card on the bottom of the deck for this week is the Two of Wands. This card's been coming up a lot recently, and it's a message that I think people don't. It hasn't been received that appreciatively, I have to admit, because this is all about planning for a future together. This is what it feels like. So it feels like the message for this week is, look, make sure you're looking to the future together. Make sure you're focusing upon where you're going together. And also, because he's holding the world, it's you've got to remember that it's kind of like, it's a message of, what world do you want to live in? Why don't you live in the world that you wish to live in? This is what it's about. And not just in regard to love and relationships, but in every single regard. If you observe something that you don't like in the world, don't live it. Don't push against it. And I think this is a generational thing, which I find, and I just tend that there's some people over a certain age, and it's not clear cut at all, but there tends to be a bit of a generational thing that I feel where, and like I said, it's not clear cut at all, but it is a bit like there's a generation whereby they felt as though they had to fight against what they didn't want, and there's this like fighting, protesting. And then there's this kind of new wave, which is about reaching out into creating a world that you do want, using the information that's being given to you about what you don't want. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't want that, so I choose this. And again, there's that quote, I think it's the Gandhi quote, be the I think it's be the peace you want to see in the world, or to be whatever you want to see in the world. You be it. So if you want peace, be peace. If you want a peaceful world, be peace. If you want anything you want, be it. Embody it. But this message is also, if you don't feel like it's happening now, then put it in the future. It's beginning to talk about how malleable time is, and that you don't necessarily need to, it doesn't matter if you're placing it in the future or now, it exists. You know, it really doesn't matter, because time is just, you know, our thoughts are so powerful, and really it's our thoughts, our mental landscape, that really creates our experience. And it's just saying, if you want to experience something now and it's not happening, put it in the future and experience it, because that's the way that's the only thing that basically is going to feel good. Don't be telling yourself the story, this isn't happening now. Yeah, that's what that two's got. So I'm actually really fascinated. I have no clue what's going to come out here whatsoever. Again, remember to look for the detail. Just remember to look for the detail. Remember to remember, because I do feel like this is going to be an interesting week. Okay, so first card for the, going to go feminine this side.
In this week's reading, there is a very quick change of direction for the masculine. And the feminine suddenly becomes very, very powerful practically. See you in a sec.
So yeah, I'm still picking out cards from this deck, this Journey of Love Oracle, that I haven't found yet, haven't been aware of yet. So it still has more to say. This one, this is the one that calls. Oh, look at her! Isn't this lovely? Okay. In her cloak of many colours, number 54, Earth Angel. So, I'm just going to read from the book. Oh, just flew open at the page. Let's get out the way so you can see. Wow. The poem comes first on this one. Earth Angel, you carry the world in your robes and heaven in your hair. You bring me a special gift now, responding to my prayer. Though sometimes I may feel that I am struggling or alone, you come to me now and carry me into my heart. You bring me home. Even from the darkest depths, I rise up to meet your light. I cannot be separated from the divine. I cannot be separated from the light. You have an angel with you, watching over you and assisting you in response to your heart's call for help, love, and protection for you and your beloveds. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Keep praying each day from your heart and know you are safely carried on the journey of love. If you have been worrying about a loved one, know that this protection extends to them as well. You are asked to pray more and worry less, allowing love to be. And the second poem. Thank you for walking with me, Before you climbed up here, I was afraid. I had risked everything by holding out my hand. And now, as I share your joy and excitement at being a friend, I realize I may have to run to catch up with you. I have to be honest, this definitely feels like, in connection with the reading, a message from, it feels like the masculine, quote unquote, is speaking the poetry. I'm going to read the first one again. Earth angel, you carry the world in your robes and heaven in your hair. You bring me a special gift now, responding to my prayer. Though sometimes I may feel that I am struggling or alone, you come to me now and carry into my heart, and carry me into my heart. You bring me home. Even from the darkest depths, I rise up to meet your light. I cannot be separated from the divine. I cannot be separated from the light. Thank you for walking with me. Before you climbed up here, I was afraid. I had risked everything by holding out my hand, and now, as I share your joy and excitement at being a friend, I realize I may have to run to catch up with you. And the reason I feel like it is that kind of masculine is because that's very much in connection with the cards on the masculine side for the reading. But I also do feel, look at that full moon I just saw in the card too, or the sun, same thing. Ball of light. I feel like for many it feels like it's the masculine side that's awakening, you know, that's less aware, I guess. And there's a more aware side, and then there's a less aware side. In accordance with this reading, talking about the difference between feminine and masculine, there's more of a beingness on the feminine side and doingness on the masculine side. What happens in beingness is that there's an increase of awareness. Just because we're not doing, we're not distracted by the doing. The awareness is always there. The feminine is always part of the masculine is always part of the feminine. They have to exist. The beingness and the doingness all has to exist together. But, so the way that can play out is that the masculine can seem less aware and less awakened, because truly, in my understanding, awareness is empowerment, is practical empowerment. So there's a practical empowerment, seriously, practical material empowerment going on for the feminine right now, for the being, for the beers, for the beingness. Not even for the beers, for the beingness. For the doingness, there's still a lot of doing. There's still a lot of movement and action. But it feels as though that is being inspired by the feminine awareness. And that feels like the message for this week. I think I'm going to do another short bath on... Should we do it next Saturday? We haven't done one on Saturday for a while. I don't know what's going on astrologically on Saturday. But let's do that. let's do it at 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. What day is Saturday? So what is it today? Let's do a bath. Yeah. So just see what happens. The solstice bath was amazing. They just keep getting different, I think. They just keep coming more. And what I like is that when I do these baths, on the run up to them, I get given all this information to share. And I feel like this week's going to be one of those weeks, actually, where I get a lot of information. So I look forward to that. Thank you for being my earth angel. I do feel like we're angels when we meet in this place, you know? When we meet in love. I mean, when we just meet here, when we just say, okay, I'm going to reach out and spend this time with you and see what we get to share here. It's just this openness. I like the openness. So thank you so much. And I'll have that bath ready for you to book. And I'm looking forward to it. Lots and lots of love. Very interesting reading this week. Everyone's on track. So well done. Lots and lots of love.